In the Nigeria of today, it has become one of the facts of life that staying prepared is no longer a choice, but a necessity. That's one of the key conclusions of Alert Universal Limited, a firm founded by our next guest on the morning show, James Useghan. Alert Universal Limited developed a fintech and safety app that provides real-time emergency response in the United Kingdom and Nigeria. As he joins us, we can now begin to look at the factors behind the current spike in abductions in Nigerian schools, the possible fundamental steps towards safety and protection, and why the authorities must rise above the well-known inhibiting factors in the adoption and pursuit of safety for all Nigerian citizens. Before we get to the conversation, Alert also enables you to instantly notify your loved ones during emergencies, share critical alerts, and stay connected when it matters. Good to have you on the morning show, James.
Thank you very much for having me. Good morning, Nigeria.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so this is all about being very alert. That has a thing to do with your fintech company, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, over time, I have been seeing the situation and it calls for action. Enough is enough. That's what I can say because we've had a lot of statements and now I think it is time to put systems in place. The Alert app as it is an edge technology that saves lives and property. And now, over time, I think the system in place has been with the 112, is it NEMA, the emergency,
Those
what
are
you
the
call them?
emergency calls,
Yeah. I'm not saying, they are fantastic, they are good, but that is like a one-to-one conversation. But then with the Alert app, what you need to do is swipe, and then it goes right to your emergency responders. So first things first, beforehand, you have to probably, download the app and then have your emergency contacts there, like your loved ones, your close relative, as the case may be. Now, when you have them on that app, it's like a family circle. Now, when anything happens to you at that point in time, you just need to swipe and then it goes straight to the responder. And then on the other flip side, where the agencies can log in, we have the police, we have the NHS, the hospitals. Yeah, I'm using the UK terms now because we are in advanced communication at the moment. So these hospitals, they get to register their information. So when you're in a vulnerable state, all you need to do is swipe. And then that moment, they see your response within the space of 10 seconds and they come in. One of the issues, the challenges we face in this whole abduction with the issue in Oyo State and Borno, like you have them, is because the response timeline is not as swift as possible because there's a delay. There is a form of getting into the scene after the whole thing is done, which is not supposed to be. Now, it comes with a common sense where we have like a situation where we have, children or pupils that would have some certain steps that are non-negotiable. For instance, you can create a drill for these people to have to exit routes in terms of emergency. Another situation is for you to have probably a WhatsApp group where you can probably have some head count. So should in case maybe a boy or a girl is missing in 5 minutes, in the 6th minute, you are responding to it immediately. That way, the community is alert. Everybody is aware of that particular situation. The third one.
Have you tried, sorry to cut you, James, this app?
Yes.
That you have developed.
Yeah.
Where has it been used before now?
It's been used. Presently it's up and running in the UK and it's presently in Nigeria. We've had over 1,000 downloads at the moment, and people
that's
are
pretty
beginning
modest,
to,
isn't it?
Yeah. So
okay. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
I was thinking about, what you were describing. Structurally, this seems like something that can work in the United Kingdom where, if I send an alert to Kachi that I fell, she can get it, she can call 999. Yeah. If I tell her I've been stabbed, there's help there. But in a case like, for example, Yelwata attack, these attacks that we see in Nigeria where children are kidnapped and where communities are ravaged, they happen over multiple hours. It's not, so even if and sometimes they do live stream sometimes they send alerts, and hours and hours and hours later, there is still no response from the Nigerian security apparatus. So do you believe that, we're not yet really ready for this type of technology in Nigeria? And if so, what our security organizations need to do to get us to a place where we're ready?
This is a fantastic question you just asked, and I'm going to, break it down a bit. First things first, when people are called to responsibility, it is their duty to have it done. Now, we have a database where, by the time you are getting an emergency response and you are not responding, it shows on our dashboard. It shows on the dashboard of whoever is on the agency portal. And so a blame game is played here where we are asking, why are you not responding? Because you are called to duty. Now, I'll give an instance in the US. In the UK, we have the 999 that we call as an emergency. Now, we incorporated that into the app because, when you're calling 999, sometimes it takes forever for them to respond to you. Same with the 112 because it's one-to-one. But on this case, we have people, the community, and then the police or the hospital that are all incorporated into this app, and they must be aware of that particular situation. And like I said, the response is within the space of 10 seconds, whereas it takes about 40, 30 minutes or thereabout for the for the other lines to be responding. Now, in this case, the fact that we have these people in place, we have witnesses already. The abductors, they don't like working in a place where, there would have been an alarm. They like working in silence.
They live stream themselves, these bandits and terrorists. So, because this is a great idea. I'm just wondering how we make it workable in Nigeria. Because also in Nigeria, as you're very well aware, if I get into an accident and you take me to the hospital yourself immediately in 10 seconds, they might not operate on me until some money is paid. So I think we have structural, institutional problems in Nigeria. And that's what I want to ask you to address as you're developing this app. What are the gaps that you're seeing in our structural and institutional failures in the country that help or hurt emergency response?
So there is always a mindset to this. Like I said, all of these things still boils down to the individual here. What are you called to do in your respective field? So you don't just come out and blame the government for the day because some things are not being done. What are you doing for yourself? You are in your respective field doing what is right, doing it so well. And what am I doing in my field? So it's my call. So orientation comes to play. Yeah. There is this point where we need to really orientate ourselves to really take responsibility for action. Now, security is not an individual thing. It's a collective thing. You can call your colleague and maybe she's in a vulnerable state and she can't even respond to you at that point. Do you want to blame her for that action? You don't even know what she's going through. But then you have multiple entities that you can call that are your emergency contact on that.
I think, sorry to cut you short, I think the crux of the issue here is this. In Nigeria today, we are dealing with a situation where our emergency systems and our security systems are failing. They are not responsive. And when we have situations, when there are attacks, the attacks go on for a period of time, oftentimes without the intervention of the security systems. So it is not a case where, I'm in a situation where I need help. Alert. Alert the security forces. You will alert the security forces and they will not come. And they've said several times that there's several reasons for this. They're underfunded. They're under-manpowered as well. So those are on the security side, reasons why this is a problem. So the security situation in Nigeria is not a lack of awareness of the problem, nor is it a lack of communication of the problem. It is the fact that fundamentally our security infrastructure is weak. So how does your alert app, being in the tech space, intend to liaise or support our security infrastructure to make sure that the people who know they're helpless, who are desperately in need of help, will be able to access this?
Thank you very much. Now, so there is what I call the community eyes. Now, for instance, when you have that emergency situation and you tap the Alert app by swiping, it doesn't just go to the police alone. There is a community. And this is why we need to have community of people. So it's not just the
like
police.
State policing.
It could be the state police. It could be like
friends
an
and
estate.
family.
Do you understand? Friends and family.
Okay.
They get to be aware first. That's the first thing.
No.
So I don't
understand. Are you saying that if for instance, there's an emergency, a kidnap, for instance, and Adesua is probably at home, I should say, Adesua, there's a kidnap happening now. What is Adesua going to be able to do?
To be fair, that might actually be more effective than calling the police.
So let me say this again. Like, see, let's not really focus on the police now, because I mean they have their job to do. They have their shortcomings, which is totally understandable. But at some point, I think we need to take responsibility for ourselves, our lives. You are in a community, probably in an estate where you're living. I mean, there are some sets of people who protect those estates. There are vigilante groups, there are different groups that can always come together in the community to say, look, we are protecting this entity. And the app comes very handy here. So at that point where you have that situation, when you are swiping, it goes to those community. Yes, it can go to the police, but then the community within your enclave are the people that will first be the call to action for you first, before the police. However, like I said, orientation needs to come to play. If the government are not doing what is right by not paying them, whatever it is, they have to put that in place. And like I said, security is not an individual thing. It's a community, is a collective responsibility of everyone to be able to, curtail the issue. Prevention is very key. Prevention, at some point, when there is a loud noise all over the place, the abductors get confused. They love walking in silence. And that is why, even like you said, probably they are doing live stream. And by the time there are some mechanism in place to curtail these people, there is no way they will be able to be 100% successful at some point.
I'm indirectly hearing you say that Nigerians as a people need to be prepared to begin to tackle cases of insecurity themselves. Is that what you're saying? That Nigerians need to begin to...
It's a two-way thing, like I said. One thing is taking responsibility for yourself to protect yourself. If people are not coming in, you have to do something. What it means is that you need to have, I thought they talked about state police at some point. And now bringing the people, the police closer to the people is one area. And then another area is, like I said, those little communities where you stay, those estates. They have security guards there that you can always discuss with. These people, to an extent, we shouldn't underrate them. You can be my eye, I can be your eye.
I mean, they're not allowed to hold weapons. Sorry, you want to go?
We don't underrate them. So,
yes.
But then like Kachi was asking you, when you swipe and you get information in real time, what happens? What happens?
So response comes at some point.
From where?
So it could be from the community.
They should just come and be shouting, hey.
I think
so. No, yeah, I get what you're saying.
I feel like you're not understanding, so I think I need to clarify. Just hold on, James, one second. Let me try and clarify here.
Yeah.
Because it's, there's a saying in Nigeria, right? Anything, you go on your balcony, you just start shouting Uli. That's the alert for the whole, and it travels as a chorus. In America, if you're in danger, you're physical danger, they tell you on college campus to shout fire, because people would run towards fire. But if you shout that you're being attacked, people will not run towards you. In any community or society you are in, there are different things that people shout, and there are different ways to alert people. Even the iPhone, your iPhone has your emergency contact. If you shake it once or twice in a certain way, it's going to call this community you're speaking about. The app is a good idea. That's not what we're getting at here. What we are trying to get at,
the people.
What we're trying to get at, because I know, I don't know how many people have had to deal with armed robbers in their lifetimes. I've had to deal with it in my lifetime. And the police asked for petrol. They asked for fuel. And, my grandma was under attack. So, what we are asking you to just speak on, as somebody who's in this space of emergency response, both with our healthcare systems and our security systems, what gaps have you seen in Nigeria? If it comes to health insurance, if it comes to responsiveness, response time, if the quality of the response, what gaps have you seen as someone who is creating an app in this space? Not about the app itself, but about our structural issues in Nigeria.
So the structural issues, the government have a very huge role to play. and we've been in talks at some point with these people, and it might take a while, but I think we will get there, because I know the gaps that are there is because, most of these people are not well paid. They have situational issues that the government needs to tackle at some point. So the government really has a very huge role to play. However, like I said, it's a lot easier when you have some backings from the community. I'm not taking the police people out of the space. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we should let them be. By the time we have a collective responsibility of safeguarding ourselves to an extent, we're going to prevent this situation. That is what I'm after. We need to have that mindset. I'm not saying I'm not here to castigate or blame anybody for the police right now. What I'm saying is at some point when the police fail, what do we do? This is why I'm here. We need to take caution and see how we can, manage this situation. And with the help of this app, there is a way we can always make this happen by, discussing with communities where we have vigilantes, where we have this set of people. We have them. I was told, I read somewhere that the presidency was even sending 1,000 men to the Oyo abduction
James,
entity.
If you're making an intervention in a country, you have to be very conversant with what is available there. So that you know for a fact. And we shouldn't come with the mindset of police, has failed.
Yes.
All over the world, there will always be another layer, several layers of security to assist the police, to assist the government. And I think that's what Halate app is trying to do. You're not bringing it because the police has failed. If the police in Nigeria has failed, you won't be sitting here. Making in this position. And then if you're talking about the president, sending 1,000, news is available everywhere. Get to know about what is happening where you want to make an intervention. It is very important. And therefore, that leads me to the other question of the intervention you are making through Alate, app. What is the benefit to you if Kachi Adeswa and I download the app and we choose to be using it? What is the benefit to your company?
So basically, the app is even free at the moment, and it's free, for as time goes on. But the benefit to me is to see that a particular problem is solved in the area of insecurity. That is what this is all about. I'm passionate about seeing to the fact that the lives of our people are well secured with the app. The fact that sometimes when abduction happens, nobody knows where they take these people.
All right, so explain to us how it works.
Okay.
The app itself. You download it. And then if you, God forbid, if you're in a situation where there's an emergency, like an abduction or something, if you have the opportunity to at least get your phone, because we know that that's the first thing that they target, so that you won't have to, use it.
Absolutely.
Not to talk about pupils that would not be with phones anyway. So for those who will be with phones and they're able to get it, what happens if you are connected to Alate?
Okay, there's a lot to discuss with this, but let me just answer your question. First, you download the app, you put in your details and your information. After that is done, you get your loved ones to also download the app. That way you can now seek consent, so it doesn't look like you're stalking them. It's consent based, where they both download this app and then you merge together, and then you are able to see one another's whereabouts. So they are in so place, the app tells you that. There's also the opportunity of the app being able to spot dangers after several clicks of the particular.
Tells you where those that you are connected with, where they are at any particular time.
Yes, 100%. It does that.
So it's like an AirTag type situation. But do they need to be holding the phone?
So they don't need to hold the phone, provided you've done the first registration process and you've sought both consent.
Okay,
it's fine.
All right.
So that way.
Before we let you go, I just want to ask a final question. I know America has something. They have several systems. They have things like the Amber Alert. That works when it comes to missing persons.
Yeah.
The UK has the child rescue alert as well.
yeah, kids,
exactly. Now, the key thing is all these systems are linked directly to the government. Do you think that this app can function effectively without the government buy-in in Nigeria?
So yes, 100% it can, but then we are taking out some of the agencies. It becomes 100% more effective when the agencies are in place, and then people can have one rest of mind. And that was why I said, look, it's a collective responsibility. For now, you can know the exact place your loved ones are.
Which agency are you
right?
trying to connect with this app now?
So
which agency of government?
So the police, it could be,
Yeah,
the
I actually have a
FLRSC.
suggestion here, because what this reminds me of, which is a very good use, I think, because most people will be able to use this, need to have a smartphone, at least able to download this.
Yeah.
Is older people who might be living alone.
Yeah.
Because not just about security, but I think health. I think this might be a very good
For
thing.
health emergencies.
For health
of course. I made
emergencies,
mention of
because
that,
I think I can imagine that this would be very good when it comes to health emergencies, considering our structural limitations in Nigeria. But thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, James.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Our Latte Universal Limited.
Yeah,
We want to
thank
thank
you
you
very
so
much.
much
Yeah.
for joining us on the One Issue today. And good luck with your
your
app. I'm sure that people will get to key at some point.
We hope that, because I believe that at some point we need to create a system to even assist the government.
We need to create that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.